Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students from Pakistan School Salala. You are welcome here for your 7AB General Science video lesson, that is about unit number 11, Transport in Humans. That is your week 6 lesson, video lesson by Mrs. Aram Shahid. For transport in humans, unit number 11, the important task of this video lesson is to discuss about mainly the circulatory system and its components, like structure of heart we already have studied, and the second component, that is blood. So in this video lesson we will talk about blood cells and the transport of material along the blood into the human body, that we will discuss in this video lesson. So dear students, what are the tasks of this video lesson that we have to do? We have to topics that we are going to see are: number 1, blood cells; number 2, difference between RBCs and WBCs; and difference between antibodies and antitoxins that are produced by white blood cells. And we will also see transport of materials in blood and tissue fluid. And finally we will be talking about how things move in and out of the blood. Actually, it is all about transport of material in the blood. So dear students, here we have to talk about blood cells, and blood is the main component of the circulatory system. It flows into the blood vessels and during its flow it's going to transport different materials in our body to each part of the cell of the body, of the living body. And also you can say that blood, it is a main component of circulatory system, and it is mainly composed of plasma. It's a mixture. Blood cell is a mixture actually, and the mixture contains plasma and the blood cells. So plasma is having mainly it is water, as its color indicating, it's light yellow color, and mainly it is water having some iron, some nutrients, some proteins, carbon dioxide and waste inside it that is going to be transported by it. And remaining part that is settled down and have greater density of the blood, that is called as blood cells. And blood cells mainly they are red blood cells, platelets and white blood cells. Red blood cells seems to be red because their number is greater. Blood is red due to these red blood cells, because red blood cells, they contain hemoglobin in it, that is the transporting material for oxygen in all parts of our body. And then white blood cells and platelets, they are less in number as compared to red blood cells, but they play main role for the immunity of the human body, as white blood cells are going to kill bacteria by eating them or by producing antibodies and antitoxins for them to kill the bacteria or the germs invading the cell. And the platelets are going to help the blood, they are going to they help the clot the blood and stop bleeding during the clot. And they are you can say they are the bits of cell broken of larger cells in the bone marrow, and their mainly function is to clot the blood and to stop bleeding. So dear students, here we have to see about differences between RBCs and WBCs. RBCs are red blood cells, their color is red. WBCs color is white. RBCs, they don't have nucleus, and WBCs, they have got a big nucleus. And red blood cells can't change their shape, as their shape is hollow, circular and hollow on the both sides, and their shape, they maintain their shape all their life. And WBCs, they are white blood cells, and they can change their shape according to the situation. And RBCs, they transport material, mainly oxygen, because they are having hemoglobin in it. And WCs provide immunity by eating the bacteria, by producing antitoxins and antibodies. So dear students, here we have to study about differences between antibodies and antitoxins. So you can see, mainly this is when we talk about antibodies and antitoxins, so we came to know that they are produced by white blood cells in the blood in a human body. So white blood cells, actually they are meant to kill the invading bacteria into the cells and protect us from diseases. So they provide natural immunity. So white blood cells sometimes eat bacteria and sometimes they produce antibodies and antitoxins. So what are antibodies and antitoxins? So the difference between antibodies and antitoxin, as both they are produced by white blood cells, but antibodies function is they are chemicals and they destroy microorganisms by dissolving them. As the bacteria invade the cell, you can see these are antibodies and they are going to surround the bacteria and they are going to dissolve the bacteria and they are going to kill it in a way. So they are meant for destroying the bacteria by dissolving them, and they are chemicals. And next we can see that antitoxins, they are again also produced by white blood cells. So antitoxins break down the toxins. Toxins are the poisons that are being produced by the bacteria present in the cell, and these microorganisms, they that the poison produced by these microorganisms is really harmful to the body. And antitoxins are produced by the white blood cells and they are going to just purify the blood from these poisons. So that is the function of antitoxins. So here was the difference of antibodies and antitoxins, that you can learn it from your book as well, and you can understand it by watching this video lesson. So dear students, we will be talking about transport of materials in the blood and tissue fluid. So mainly you can see the blood flows into the blood vessels, and blood vessels can be of veins and arteries according to their function and size. Vein, they carry deoxygenated blood, and arteries, they carry oxygenated blood. And capillaries are the smallest blood vessels, as they have very thin walls, you can say very thin holes into it in their walls. So the capillaries, they have, you can see, holes in their walls, so that the material that is being transported in the blood is diffused to the body cells. So that make up the tissue fluid also. So transport of material of blood is mainly due to capillaries, because capillaries are meant for the exchange of materials. They are being that is being transported by the blood. And the capillaries, they contain a liquid that is called as tissue fluid that leaks out. As you can see here, these are blood capillaries and they have holes in them, and you see the blood is carrying some components like oxygen. It is carrying and going to during its transport, it is giving oxygen to the cells. And you can see here, here some material from the holes of the capillaries is coming out, like oxygen and like food that is being transported by the blood. And in a way, you can see the tissue cells, they are going, all the cells of the body, they are having oxygen, and they are going to give carbon dioxide to the blood. So this all exchange takes place by the diffusion of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration, and the mainly area that is called as a tissue fluid, that is being the leaked out material from the capillaries. From here, the tissue materials is going to diffuse into the tissue cells. So dear students, you can see tissue fluid is mainly water, and it forms a continuous link between the water in the blood plasma and the water in the cell cytoplasm. As here you can see, it is a blood vessel, and blood, it contains blood vessel like capillary because it is very thin wall and having holes in that, and that is meant for the transport exchange of materials. And the blood, mainly it contains plasma, you can say, that is flowing into the capillaries, and RBCs they are carrying oxygen. So the plasma in the blood capillaries have a link through the holes of the capillaries by the outside tissue fluid, and so the materials from the blood plasma or the blood is moving in the tissue fluid, and from the tissue fluid it is going to be absorbed into the cells, tissue of the cells. So tissue of the cells, they also contain water, so that water is linked by the plasma water by a fluid called as tissue fluid. And tissue fluid is you can say going to exchange material from the blood like oxygen and glucose to the tissue cells, and from tissue cells it takes carbon dioxide and transport it to diffuse it into capillaries by its holes, and that is being sent into the blood, and the blood is going to be moved to the lungs to exhale them out. So dear students, you can clearly think about how things get into and out of the blood. So it is the blood vessel capillary that is having hole, and that is going to transfer the material to the tissue fluid, and tissue fluid is going to diffuse the material into the tissue cell. So and that is the main pathway. And you can see that red blood cells, they have oxygen is separated from oxyhemoglobin compound and move into a tissue fluids, and then is diffused into the tissue cell. And same is the case here, carbon dioxide, that is the waste material, and maybe urea also there in the cell produced, and that waste material and carbon dioxide, they move into the tissue fluid and then move into the by these holes, small holes, into the blood capillaries, and hence it is being transported to all parts of the body. So in a way you can say the oxygen exchange of material takes place by the blood vessels capillaries to the all parts of the living cells. They are going to deliver oxygenated blood, is going to deliver oxygen, and then it is going to take carbon dioxide and waste, and then this waste material is sent to the their respective positions. Like carbon dioxide is sent to the blood when moves to the lungs via heart. It is the carbon dioxide is exhaled out, and again the blood is going to take oxygen from there, and then again the oxygen is being transported by the blood vessels to all living cells present in the body. So in this way the things, they are being transported, and the main process over here by the capillaries, when the material is transported, the process takes place by diffusion, that is movement of higher concentration of molecules from higher concentration to their lower concentration area. As oxygen, you can see here, present in more concentration in the blood vessels, here in the cells it is less concentration, so it will be moving here, diffusing here in a way. And carbon dioxide is more over here, and it is diffused into the blood because by diffusion, because more concentration area, molecules will move towards lower concentration area. So in a way exchange takes place here in this way, in the blood vessels, between blood vessels and the tissue cells. So here is a quick summary for how things get in and out of the blood. As the blood capillaries, blood is transported in the blood capillaries, they are very tiny blood vessels, and they are meant for exchange of material. So blood capillaries, they are very tiny blood vessels, they are meant for exchange of materials, and it have RBCs. The blood capillaries, they have got RBCs that carry oxygen by oxyhemoglobin compound, which moves in the blood cells, and then ways like